Jared is on the line. Jared, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Good morning, Ken. It's really good to talk to you. How are you today?
I am living the dream, Jared. What's going on?
I could just use some help. My wife, before our son was born, she and I moved to Nashville back in March of 2019, and then we bought a house in Clarksville about a year later. And I just feel kind of stuck. I really want to pursue my passion and dream of music, but I could just use some help getting there.
Okay.
And any pointers that you might offer me.
Be more specific. Paint the dream for me. Is it singer-songwriter, producer, touring musician? Give me the real dream. 15, 20 years from now, you're at the top of the heap for you. What's that look like?
Singer-songwriter, guitarist, done a little bit of songwriting, been part of a church's worship team for at least 10 plus years.
Okay, but do you want to be a Christian musician, country musician, pop, rock? Do you want to be a worship leader? Give me the full vision.
I really kind of want to be my own eclectic artist. I am a Christian, and so that's definitely going to come across in the music that I write and perform. But
who are your top three?
Types of music.
Tell me your top three artists that you're just a huge fan of. You love their work. When you think of them, when you consume their music, you go, they influence me. I'd like to be obviously my own unique version, but these are three artists that really represent who I would like to be. Give me those names.
Okay. If I'm going to go with my top three, I'm going to list Paramore, Lenny Kravitz, Lincoln Brewster.
Okay, great.
I mean, if I'm just going to go off my top three, I've got so many I could name. But
yeah, that's fine. And by the way, this is just,
yeah,
I get it. And that's fine. You can change the list later. In fact, it'd be great for you to do a top 10 later when we get off the phone tonight before you go to bed. The reason I gave you that little exercise is you've got to begin to really get serious about the style. And I think you probably have a good idea. But all those influences mesh together in your head and heart, and they affect and influence the type of music you write. Am I right or wrong?
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I know I am. I've talked to artists about this. Like, the great songwriters are all influenced by somebody else. It's like a big giant steal. In fact, there's a great book you should read called Steal Like an Artist, a little teeny tiny book. I think it's on my shelf up there. Yeah, it is. It's on the shelf behind me. And it's the idea of the great artists are all influenced by other people. So one of the things you've got to do is get a super high level of confidence of the type of artist, singer, songwriter. When you think that indie artist, the way you said it, you've got to really embrace that. And the quicker you do that and the more aggressively you embrace that, the more momentum you're going to have to really get out of the gate. Because when you say you're stuck, I think it's just you saying, I don't know where to start. Am I right?
I think so. And of course, with my son being little and
this
balance that with the current work.
Right, but here's the deal. You and I have a similar path. The path that I took is going to be somewhat similar for you in that you got a wife and a child. You got to have to hold down a day job, and it's like two full-time jobs. You may not spend the exact same amount of hours, but I mean, you're writing music, you're gigging where you can. As soon as COVID opens up, I mean, you're literally doing anything and everything you can to sing and perform as much as possible to get your work out on YouTube, Instagram, wherever else you would go. You have got to show your work. You've got to get it out there. And you can't be all hung up on how many people saw it and how many people listened to it. That will take care of itself. But you got to know who you are and what kind of artist you want to be. What kind of music do you want to create for the world? Why do you want to create that? What's the message? You got to know all that and get artistically inspired and then put it out there and stop being worried about how many people see it and go, the more I put it out there, here's what I know. There are a lot of people in this world who like the same kind of music I do. If I make really good music that I like, then other people will eventually find me. And that's the key. So putting out music that you like, that you would listen to is huge. And then, again, as I said, putting it out there and being patient while continuing to perform, continuing to write, continue to produce, just keep putting your stuff out there. And to the best of your ability, then you move into, okay, how can I start to make some money, make a little bit more money? And then you get to the point where you stay with it long enough, if you're good enough. And I have no way of assessing your talent right now. So hopefully you get some really honest people in your life that are in the music business who can say to you, yeah, it may be hard, this may be a long journey, but you do have talent. And I'm assuming you've done that you're not delusional. So assuming all that you really got what it takes, raw talent, then you have to stay with it, man, and stay with it big time. It's not going to happen overnight. So the day job and the dream job are going to have to coincide. Make sense?
Yes, and you don't think my being 38 has any impact on it?
No. You know the story of Chris Stapleton?
I don't.
You got to be kidding me. Madison, give me real quick. Help me out. Can you look it up? How old was Stapleton? I mean, he broke. Do you know who he is?
I do. He did a song with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Say something.
But I want to know, Madison, how old Stapleton is now, and how old was he when he popped a couple years ago? I guess it's been 2 or 3 years. Madison's looking it up. But, Jared, here's what I want you to understand. This guy had been a studio musician, writing stuff with his wife. He kind of just been hanging around. And then, boom, the right relationship happens for him, and he gets exposed. And, man, this guy's one of the hottest artists in the world. Do you understand?
Sure.
So I don't think 38's too young. Does 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, does that have any impact on your ability to actually create good music?
And you don't think it's too old?
No, but you didn't answer my question.
Chris Stapleton is...
Of course it won't. Go ahead, Madison.
Chris Stapleton is 42 years old, and his quote-unquote breakthrough, which is when people learned who he was when he performed at the CMA Awards with Justin Timberlake in 2015.
Okay, so he's 42 now, so that's 37.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, you hear what I'm saying?
I hear it.
So you answered my question honestly. Being 42 or 52 does not have any impact on your ability to write music. Are you a little bit behind the 8 ball? Yeah. In the sense of you've not been going after it really hard for a long time. But the fact of the matter is that you've got to go for it, something you want to do. And you'll always have the day job. So take care of your family, get the day job there, and then go after it like your life depends on it. I did. I was 33 when I started into broadcasting. And I mean, it took me 7 years to get to Ramsey Solutions, another 3.5 to earn the opportunity to do the show that I'm doing now. So, no, it's not too old. And you know deep down in your soul it's not, but you got to go all in. There's no turning back. You know, get in the boat today and go. And when you get there to the full commitment, burn the boats. So there's no retreat. You understand what I'm saying, Jared?
I do. And you said the book is Steal Like an Artist?
Yes. It's a great little book. Get it and employ the little strategies in it. It's great. And you got to start playing and putting music out. And if you can't gig right now, put it out on YouTube and keep putting it out there. Just keep doing it. Keep showing up. And then after that, Joe, keep showing up. And then after that, keep showing up.
It's always good.
I mean, Joe, let's remind people, I started out on Saturday radio. I had to pay $250 freaking bucks so they could pay Joe. He's turning the knobs. He's going, who's this guy? And I'm on AM Talk Radio. It's Saturdays at 2 o'clock. Joe, tell folks how many people are listening that on your standard AM Talk station on Saturdays at 2 p.m.
Well, now, me and you differ in this because...
Oh, would you just stop and tell people it ain't a lot of people?
I'd say probably 2,000 people.
Okay, great. That's not a lot of people. Some of you think 2,000 people. I'm telling you, it's not a lot of people. And it's just because they're on that station and they get in the car. It's because they're listening to WDUN as their primary source of news Monday through Friday. So they get in the car on Saturday to go to Lowe's or Home Depot to get something, and it's already in the car, and they're hearing me, and they're going, huh? What is this? Who's this clown? The point I'm trying to make is that you got to show up and embrace the suck and keep showing up, putting shows together, and realize that you're not making a huge impact. Not a ton of people are listening, and not a lot of people are buying your music, but it doesn't matter, because it is the process that will prepare you for that promise.